the melody of it then goes awa 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 awa, and then it just repeats like over and over.
Yeah,
again.
but it's sped up, so it's like awa awa
Awa. Oh shit!
I thought you were talking about our intro.
I was always doing it at 0.5.
Wow.
No.
Oh wow 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 wow
Oh, wow, 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 wow,
Fuck,
wow.
I should be hitting them up for
Royalties.
Yeah, because they're
Yeah.
pinching our shit.
Yeah.
Fucking bastards.
Can never trust the Teletubbies.
No.
On that note,
Except for Tubby Custard.
Oh,
He's all
hello.
right. He's okay. He came around the other week.
Got a lot of custard.
Still owes me a 20.
welcome
custard?
to the Finally
Yes,
Press Record
20 ounce.
podcast. I'm Pat,
I'm Stubby.
I'm Nettie.
I'm happy to be here, Dan.
and Switch to launch.
Nettie News Network, yay! Thanks,
And
guys.
everyone who was like, the price tag is shithouse can go and eat a dick.
Thanks for cheering for my news
I
segment.
think they
But-
did.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So also a bunch of new games. It's mad.
Yeah. Oh, we're doing them both in one episode. I thought we were going to
Oh, no,
split
no,
it
a
up.
bunch of new games for the Switch 2.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we can do the other. We'll get
Yeah, no, Pat,
So-
take that
I'm
out.
just doing everything I can. Is my thing actually even on? I don't think I'm actually on.
You're on. I
You're
can
on.
hear
You're on. I can hear
I
you.
couldn't. Okay, there we go. Oh, I can now hear.
Ooh.
That's what it was. I was just.
you were down.
Beautiful.
Do you want the good news or the bad news first?
See, I'm just doing everything I can to not have to listen to the Nettie
Look,
News
if
Network.
this is what you were talking about in the car, this is the Switch 2 episode. Save it for the other one if it's what you were telling me about.
Too late. I've started.
Asshole.
Oh, dear.
God damn
I
it.
can
I don't
take
know if
it
I want
out.
to hear this.
Wait, is that a threat?
It will be in a minute.
Is that a threat? Oh, no.
Threatening me?
Yes.
I don't have power here? I can project my voice. I'll be heard on everyone's microphone, damn it!
To be a ventriloquist, you got to stick your hand up a Muppet's ass.
I'll stick my hand up all your asses.
I know you would.
I'm wearing an
You'd
appropriate
enjoy
jumper
it.
for that rant.
So, Switch 2 and why we're disappointed.
Well, this is
Alright,
gonna
so
be the
Nettie's
shortest-
off.
Okay.
Nettie's
I
gone
know.
for the rest of the
that's
episode.
okay. That's okay. The episode's over. Click.
I can answer this. I'm disappointed I don't have it.
Yeah, that's fair.
There we go.
There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great show,
End it
guys.
there.
GG.
Stubby's disappointed
get
that YouTube
food.
doesn't work.
We just had dinner actually, so that doesn't work.
Pat's disappointed.
I couldn't give a two fuck. You know how many things I've got that plays YouTube?
I'm pretty sure the fridge
Fuck.
plays YouTube now.
Pretty much. My goddamn watch almost does.
So I'm absolutely in love with my Switch 2. But someone said something in a video I watched earlier today that also resonates with me, which is you could play the Switch 2 and not play a Switch 2 game for years without getting bored because so many of the games perform so much better and it's like playing a brand new game. And that resonates so much with me because I got Mario Kart World with with the bundle, and I've played that and I really enjoy Mario Kart World, but I've sunk more time into Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah,
And
nice.
that,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Like, oh man, that I tell you what, that $20 upgrade is actually a $20 upgrade.
Yeah, and which I got.
And we got for free because we got expansion pass.
It's nice. Isn't
And
it?
all the games that didn't run all that well on it now run well and actually work.
But like all of them though, this is the funky thing. Like if it was only one or two that saw an upgrade, I'd be like, that's really awesome. But it's like literally every bad game that runs like Mortal Kombat 1, Damon X Machina,
Damon?
the fucking WWE 18 actually works now. Like, you know, Batman
Pokemon.
Arkham. Oh yeah, oh man, don't even get me started. Like, but like Batman Arkham Knight is now like actually a playable game.
It's playable. It's only hampered by all of the shitty textures they put in to make it work on the Switch in the first place.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, as far as graphical fidelity, it's not going to get any better unless they do an actual proper patch upgrade. But as far as like brute forcing like better frame rates, like everything gets to like feel it. It's so good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You came over on Saturday to so I could see it because I haven't got it yet, and it was amazing to see you going to Pokemon and at a distance watch the windmill run normally. It's just spinning. Yeah, instead of the 2 frames every 5 minutes, it's actually spinning.
And again, that was a free upgrade.
And it's
And
amazing.
So, like, I've got Mario Kart World on constant rotation, and I was telling this to Nettie before. confession, me, the Zelda guy,
Late night confession.
I never finished Tears of the Kingdom.
Get out!
Hey, you know what the funny thing is?
Fake fan.
But still played it for like 160 odd hours, right?
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. But so to
I did.
give context,
And same thing. I never finished it either.
Tears of the Kingdom.
I never finished either one.
I finished Breath.
Tears of the Kingdom came out, which at a time which for me was fucking horrible, right? And so when it first came out that first week, I played maybe an hour. And then when I was in a better state, I burnt myself out on it because I was like, I have to fucking catch up before someone spoils this ending for me. And then someone spoiled the ending for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
sucks.
so I went from I'm burnt out on this game and I fucking love it, but I've got no drive because I know everything that happens now because of shitty people and the internet. But it's always been on my list of like, I need to go back and finish that, but I never did. And part of me is so happy that is the case because it is a night and day difference.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I put it in and I like loaded up the game. I'm like, it doesn't look that much better. Like the loading time's nice, but like, you know.
Man, the loading time is crazy.
Right. No.
That was the first thing that I was just like, hang on, I'm already in the game.
But I was
haven't made
like-
a cup of tea yet.
maybe like, you know, like the upscaling's washing things out. I forgot to download the Switch 2 patch for it. So I was playing the Switch 1 version of Tears of the Kingdom for about half an hour before I realized that it was not the right version of the
And
game.
funnily enough, it was still a pretty looking game.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It
it
still
was
good enough.
It was good enough for me to be like, oh, this is the Switch 2 version of the game.
And then you played the actual Switch 2 version.
And my eyes burnt with glory.
I love how you just expected the Switch to be like, yeah, no, this is the Switch 2 version. You
Well,
don't have
that's
to
the thing.
download
It's what you
anything.
expect, like when you did the PS4 to the PS5, you'd play a game and it's like, okay, it loads faster, it kind of naturally runs better. Okay, that's good, but that's it. You know, you're
But
just
that's
kind of like, okay, it's got more power.
the Switch 1 version still would have had that brute force, like
Yeah.
the frame rate would have been actually locked. 30.
Things were, it was lock 30. It was upscaled. The loading times were insane.
Yeah.
Like it was good, but like I was at a point where my expectations were like I was tempering my expectations to a degree. And then the Switch 2 version, and I was like, this is butter.
It's unbelievable.
Like I'm in the fucking Korok forest and everything still moves.
It's not a weird slideshow anymore.
Yeah, and
Oh
then
my goodness.
booting up Pokemon, which is the next game I'm going to play. Because I played Pokemon Scarlet and my wife played Pokemon Violet, so I'm going to now play Pokemon Violet. That is like night and day difference.
Yeah.
It's like
That's what everyone's been saying.
it's
about
like I saw a meme of it, which is like, "Mommy, can I play Pokemon?" No, we've got Pokemon at home, and it's like the difference between the Switch 2 and the Switch 1.
It's so true.
The only people I've seen complain about it are people who shiny hunt on the original Pokemon because some of the improvements have made the cheesing shiny hunts in the original game harder.
right.
And I'm like, fucking
seriously?
stop complaining about a good thing.
Yeah, right.
God.
Stop ruining it for everyone.
Like you can either have good Pokemon or you can not have good Pokemon. Pick one lane and stick to it.
There's always people who are going to complain about things. It's like the guy when there was a guy I saw online, Doom the Dark Ages came out, and he was complaining, saying it was a terrible game. But when you watch his footage, like Doom is a run and gun game, right? Like you have to keep moving. Generally, like it's a very fast-paced game, and this guy was standing in place shooting enemies and wondering why he was dying.
But that's also
okay.
Doom
Dark Ages forces you to do that.
Yeah,
and that's
so
the problem. That's why I don't like Dark
Doom's
Ages.
always been fast-paced, but it's been kind of like, I don't want to say a corridor shooter, but Dark Ages made the
First one
landscapes much bigger.
Oh no, I know, but this was still like this was literally like I understand Doom Dark Ages is slower, but this was literally the guy was just standing there going,
But yeah,
and not doing any movement, not blocking properly with the shield, just shooting and wondering why he was dying. And it's like you're not playing it properly.
There's
you're a
definitely-
fool.
There's too much. There is actually too much emphasis on the shield. It's like it's how you basically survive against a lot of the bigger enemies when they throw like their little beams of light at you.
Look, I was never expecting to parry in a Doom game. I'll say that.
Right, and then they turn it also into the chainsaw. So
Yeah.
it also becomes one of your weapons. And I mean, the music's garbage. This is what happens when you take Mick Gordon off a project.
Yeah.
You know it's bad when the Doom guy. That's not the Doom guy, but the Doom guy on this podcast is saying it's not a great
Doom
game.
3 from day one and couldn't understand why people were upset. Like, you know,
Yeah.
that's Doom Dark Age. Dang, I'm gonna call it Dank Ages. Actually, Doom.
I don't know. I
Dank
feel like that's
Ages,
better for it.
Dank Ages is my least favorite Doom game out of all of them, and I'm also referring to the Java Doom RPG games. Actually, they're pretty dope. They're actually pretty good.
But can Doom the Dark Ages run on the Switch? I don't think so.
No. Well, it's not out yet.
Give it to Panic Button. I reckon Panic, if there's anyone who could do it, they put Doom 2016 on Switch.
Sorry.
They put
I have
Eternal on
no
Switch
doubt
1.
that they could get Doom the Dark. Like, if you can get Cyberpunk running on the Switch too,
absolutely.
you can get fucking. There is no excuse now.
Yeah. And this was day one.
And look, you can argue all the 45 frames a second you want. It's still fucking Cyberpunk. It's still
Plays so good.
It's better than the PS4 experience.
Yeah.
It's better than
which that isn't difficult, but
it's not, but it's still saying something.
But it looks exactly the same as my Series X version, and it loads faster. That is nuts. That is nuts.
That's the one thing that I don't think people are talking about enough is just how fast this new memory storage thing that the Switch is doing is.
Yeah. Also, I haven't heard from Nettie. How you going, buddy?
Yeah, I'm well. I'm just enjoying the conversation.
He's happy to be here.
I'm just so sorry. I mean, I can see you nodding and sort of smiling every now and then.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how you doing?
No,
How you going?
I'm having a blast. I got to play the Switch with Pat after we went to the midnight launch.
Yeah. Well, we went to the midnight launch and then we both worked and then you came to my house the next day.
And had a nap on your couch. I was so fucking tired.
we were both so fucking cooked.
We were just done. But fuck, Mario Kart was fun. It was so much fun.
It's such a fun game.
It's so good to just dick around in that world.
It really is.
There's so much cool shit.
The other
And
thing,
the idea of having a track between tracks and seeing them transition. Oh,
Amazing,
it's so
Yeah.
fun. So fun.
the thing that surprised me about Mario Kart, and I think it's Mario Kart 8 that ruined this for me, is that I miss Mario Kart games where you unlock shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like
yeah.
the fact that Rainbow Road is not open from the get-go.
I only found out the other day that Rainbow Road is even in it.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I remember looking around for it going, there's no Rainbow Road in this
Here's
game.
one for you.
I asked Pat because I was
Mirror
like, I don't see it there. Is Rainbow Road in it? And he had to tell me it's unlockable.
Here's one for you. Mirror mode is also in it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude.
And once you unlock it, if you go to Peach's Castle,
By the way, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
if you go to Peach's Castle in free roam and jump through her stained glass window, it switches you to mirror mode.
Is that what you call it, pussy?
Shut the fuck.
I think you have to unlock mirror mode first, which is a pain in the ass.
Wouldn't surprise me. You'd
But
probably have to do either all of the question mark blocks around the
No, you have to
Castle?
get gold 3 stars on every 150cc standard Grand Prix and knockout tour.
And knockout.
And so, to be clear, to get 3 stars in knockout tour, you have to be first place through every
Yeah.
checkpoint.
Yeah.
I could do it. You saw how I was driving.
Fucking, I don't need to Dark Souls my Mario Kart. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, you do.
Fuck that shit.
Everyone wants
Dark
to.
Souls.
But it's
Fucking
like every
Mario Souls.
concern I had about
Salute
Mario
the
Kart,
sun.
every concern I had about Mario Kart went out the window when I started playing it.
Or did you go through the window?
It just feels so good, but it's also a lot less cluttered with stuff. Like, I mean, as much as I love Mario Kart 8, there are like dumb amounts of things you have to check the settings and like the stats when you have a car, what kind of wheels it has, what kind of like parachute.
It's
it
nice
has.
to just pick a character and pick a car.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and 90% of the time, it doesn't really matter. I have found that there is a bit of a lie, though, between top speed and acceleration. Don't bother looking at top speed.
Yeah.
Acceleration will always get you faster than top speed, which fucking annoys me. I was up against, I was playing with my friend Jess, and she was picking Yoshi. and always going for acceleration. I was Bowser in his truck, which has fuck all acceleration, but it's like all the way top speed, and she was overtaking me without even trying.
Well, I think one thing...
No mushrooms or anything like that.
They've completely revamped the weight system for the drivers.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's actually insane.
Yeah, I noticed the first time when you came over and we played it.
You're like, I feel different here.
I picked like my character Luigi. I picked a car that kind of looked like it was the type I'd normally play in Mario Kart 8. And then like the first turn, I tried to do the drift and drifted straight off the track. And I was like, oh, this is so different.
This drift is very different.
But it's
It
also
took me like
like
four or five races before I felt like I was really kind of getting used to it. It was crazy.
The benchmark I give is my wife, who...
When you drift your wife?
Yeah. No, we played through the Grand Prix.
I was drinking, you bastard! I almost just spit took on everyone.
And we got it on camera.
Son of a bitch.
One day.
But she's not a huge gamer, but Mario Kart is one of the things we connect on. And so we did the Grand Prix together. So to get Rainbow Road, you have to unlock the special cup. So we did all the Grand Prix.
Fucking slut.
Yeah, I know.
We were doing that.
Because I did it with Net. I've done it twice now.
I know. He's such a bitch.
But the driving between tracks was kind of off-putting for my wife at first because they don't really telegraph where you have to go. And so she'd find herself driving down the wrong way and getting picked up by Lakitu. And she also like... She was very frustrated that they'd taken. So now that when Lakitu picks you up, he takes your items as well.
Yeah.
Which he didn't do in Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
Which is something that she noticed and I didn't.
I have noticed that little bastard's fine has gone up. It used to be 2 coins, now it's 3.
Yeah.
And your items.
Hey, you know,
fucking like
times are tough. Cost of living is up.
Inflation.
That's true.
Inflation.
Dude, cloud property is fucking off the charts.
You know how much it cost him to rent that cloudy ride? Like, damn.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
But we did all the Grand Prix, we unlocked all the tracks, and then we're like, we're going to play some versus mode because that's what we do. Like, once the Grand Prix are done, we never play Grand Prix, we just do versus because we like to tweak the items and stuff like that. And one of the ways you can play versus now is doing connected races, which is you pick a place, and then when you get to the second race, it gives you like 3 or 4 options for where you want to drive to go next.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
And we're in fucking love. That's the way we play the game now. Because it's so good. And then it's like, so conceivably, if you go to like Peach Coliseum, which is like the central map, there's like 8 different places you can go.
Yeah.
It'll randomly pick 3 or 4 that you can go to. And that's kind of where your randomness comes from. And it's just so much fun. And fuck the drive up to Rainbow Road.
That is, beautiful. That is beautiful.
I can't wait. I am actually genuinely looking forward to doing that.
Yeah.
But I'm playing so many games on it at the moment.
Yeah.
Because yesterday I wanted to sit down and watch spoilers for our next episode. Like I watched the State of Play and the Xbox showcase. But I was sort of flicking through between a couple of games to see like the new frame rate, like brute forcing, and which games actually play really nicely now. And Bayonetta 3, I think, is up there. It's now got a bigger problem though, because all of the cutscenes are filmed in the game engine when it ran on Switch 1. So they all run like 20-ish frames a second.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the game plays, it's 60.
Yeah.
Oh,
the gameplay looks better than the
game is
cutscene.
completely uncapped. So gameplay now is fucking ridiculous. And then it cuts to the video sequences, and the video sequences are choppy as shit. It's just so weird.
We found the same thing when we booted up Pokemon. I started a new game in Pokemon, and the game runs at 60 frames and looks gorgeous. The cutscenes are all 30 frames a second, and it fucking
Kinda
stands
jarring.
out.
It's kind of jarring.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is.
jeez.
There might be a few games that come up with that issue, but it is really cool that like Bayonetta would be so much fun. Just like smooth frames. You want that game to be running smoothly. So.
Yeah.
It is so like, I just played through the entirety of the prologue area where New York kind of gets hit by that massive tidal wave, and it's just you're literally surfing a cruise liner between like flooded streets of New York because Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Right? And
great.
I'm just like, gameplay wise, it's like, it's super, super smooth. And then it'll go to a cutscene and it'll suddenly go, it's like, what the fuck just happened?
Stage fright.
Question for you, Stubby. Because I haven't really had a follow up with you, and maybe this is something Editor Pack can take out if need be.
No.
Editor Pat, put a big
Leave that
Pikachu.
shit in.
Yeah.
Love it.
Review. Street Fighter 6 amiibos.
This is a
All right.
good thing.
So
Gotta keep
what's
that in.
happening there?
Yeah, only available in fucking North America at the moment through a website. Bastards!
Okay. Did you
So
get
you're
Street
really-
I'm
Fighter
not
6?
upset at all.
You're really happy. You're really happy. Yeah. See?
Did you get Street Fighter 6?
Yeah, he has the case up there.
Yeah.
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 Where are the amiibos?
Street Fighter 6 actually does have a strange issue.
Oh, yeah?
A very strange
Break
issue.
Bell.
No amiibos.
Yeah.
World Tour plays really bad. Oh! Like, seriously.
I was going to make a smart
World
ass comment, but that
World
threw me
Tour
off.
is super choppy, and I would say it's sub 30 frames a second.
Oh, wow.
World Tour,
And
wait,
is that
it's-
the like story?
Yeah, the story
And
mode
is the
part. And
only-
it's all fights in that. But then you go to Battle Hub and you play arcade or online or anything, and it's perfect.
Weird.
And it's
That's
just World
really
Tour. It's
weird.
just World Tour that's fucked.
That's bizarre.
Tell me about it. Like
What the
that
fuck?
one. That one really.
How bizarre.
How bizarre. How
How
bizarre. Dun, 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 dun.
I don't know this reference, but I like it. But that is fucking weird. Yeah.
It's a
Have
strange.
you come across anything interesting in other Switch 2 games?
Yes, I have.
Please tell me. Fellow Switch 2 owner.
the
Name them
excitement.
for us.
The excitement.
Name and shame.
So, I wouldn't actually say it's games. The setup of the Switch is quite odd.
Oh,
What, you mean
how
like
many
the
games
menu?
did it make you download?
144.
Yeah.
What?
I was
Okay.
going to say, I walked in here, so like Stubby
Leave it.
has a cap on his internet, and I'd been thinking for a while, and when we got here, I'm like, I think the Switch 2 might have killed Stubby's internet, because any game that was on your Switch as a digital copy, it starts trying to download when you transfer.
What, straight away?
Yeah.
Even if you don't currently have it
So,
installed.
if you have the games installed on your OLED and then you transfer to your Switch 2,
It doesn't transfer the
it
data.
doesn't transfer the data. It just transfers that you own them over to it. And then you
God.
have to re-download the entire game.
Oh my
I
God.
have a terabyte SD in my OLED that I filled last year. I have deleted many games that aren't on there. Guess what showed up on my Switch too?
So even if you didn't have them currently installed, the system basically just
starts
went,
downloading.
you own these, great, we're going to download them all. Oh my
See,
God.
it
Downloading
didn't do
everything.
that for me. It didn't download the games that I hadn't had installed on my Switch, but everything that was on my Switch that you would expect to transfer as part of the transfer process doesn't. It just transfers. Oh yes, you have the virtual game card. Cool.
You
Well,
can
that was
re-download the whole
inserted.
game.
We're gonna start the download.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My PC
Yeah.
didn't have that.
And the
problem
fact that's actually the reason why I thought Tears of the Kingdom would be playing the updated version, because I assumed it would just read that I had a Switch 2.
Right? Which
but
would
it's
make sense in my brain.
Yeah.
yeah, but you have to go into the store and specifically download the upgrade pack.
God.
Yeah.
Lordy.
So is that the biggest issue that we have?
Actually,
with
that
the Switch so far?
and to be completely honest, that I mean, I don't know if I'd say that the other thing is an issue, but that is definitely. It's just something that seems oddly stupid.
Yeah.
When I transferred stuff over from my Xbox One X to my Series X, it came up with a list of all the shit that I had, and it asked me
Yeah.
to tick what do you want to install.
Yeah.
Right. Fucking that makes a lot of sense, and that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it seems weird for them to just be like, oh yeah, we're just acknowledging
But-
that you have it and we're now going to try and download
So
everything.
like-
The
every-
interesting thing was I was like, again, very tired, but B, excited to have my Switch done. And I'm like, I need to get this thing updating and go to work so it's ready when I'm done. And I was speeding through the pages to do the transfer. And I just assumed that there was a warning sign that all of your virtual game cards that are on your console would download. But in like the dominoing out of other people having the experience, that's not the case. It just happens.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really odd.
It's
probably in very fine print somewhere.
Probably.
Oh, look, I mean, the other really stupid thing too is games that you have on carts. It doesn't transfer over the updates either.
No,
like it literally takes over just your save files and that's it. But yeah, so I'd say that was probably my biggest like teething gripe. I would say
it transfers
it's an inconvenience.
It transfers the profiles. It transfers whether you're in light or dark mode.
It transfers all of your album stuff. So all of your screen grabs, like they're all in there. And the only other thing that I would say is mildly inconveniencing, which we said earlier, just that streaming services aren't working on it. I mean, I don't really use Funimation or Crunchyroll or InkyPen or Hulu or any.
But you do use.
But I do use YouTube a lot. I mean, my YouTube thing has over like 4,000 hours of use on the Switch. So
I mean, it does seem weird. Like you said, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it does seem weird if it works on the Switch. Why wouldn't it just be working on the Switch too?
Yeah.
It's because of that. It's the whole reason that the Switch 2 has the translation layer. It's because the code doesn't natively work. And when it comes to streaming applications, it's a different beast to video game applications.
But then Resident Evil 7 Streaming Cloud Edition works.
Yeah, but it's
streaming the game.
It's still a gameplay app.
But then Hitman doesn't. I mean, look, they put World of Assassination on Switch
and
2
it's
carts,
worth us pointing this out. And this episode might come out a bit earlier because it's more topical now. But we're a week out from it launching, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is minor gripes that can be fixed very, very quickly.
The overall feedback seems to be that it's amazing.
Can I tell you, I'm sitting here a few days away from getting paid, being like, I don't need it, but No Man's Sky on Switch 2 would be pretty fucking good, and it's on sale.
It's down to like $30.
Yeah.
Already, yeah.
Is it cross-platform? Because we can play together.
I've already got it. I've got it on my PlayStation, but I'm like, it would be a mighty fine showcase of the Switch 2.
I think it actually is cross-play.
Yeah, it is cross-play now.
Let's play.
But yeah, like, and the Switch 2 version apparently is like mine.
Yep. And Hello Games was like, we're going to put it up for 50% off and free Switch 2 upgrade.
Hell yeah.
Oh wow.
Sweet.
So I've already purchased the upgrade. So I've just got to buy the game now. So just in case I don't get to it while it's on sale, I might be able to get like a cheaper cart version later on down the line.
Yeah, good idea.
So here, just click on it now and say that I've bought it. Like when we used to do that for PlayStation Online stuff, how it was you get 3 games every month. Just click on it, even if you don't want it right now. Just say you bought
I
it.
still do that. Every month when games come out, I'm like, I will never play this, but I'm just going to claim it because why not?
Yeah, same thing with Xbox Live games with gold. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Man, I've gotten so many cool games from that.
Yeah.
So good.
But yeah, so I've got No Man's Sky on my list and Civilization as well. Have you played the Switch 2 version yet?
I can lend you the virtual cartridge if you like, because it's a DLC code. It's a code in a box.
Oh, okay.
So I can lend it to you if you would like to play it, sir.
Well,
I was 14 days of enjoying it.
I was saying, well, I see you every week. I'll just keep renewing. I'll be a blockbuster bitch.
Every time it ends.
The reason I got banned from fucking renting Ocarina of Time. But I was saying to Nettie, like a lot of the complaints about Civilization 7 as a game are because it's like watered down compared to other versions of Civilization, which I can understand being frustrated playing on PC. But if I'm playing it on a handheld, the watered down version is kind of what I want.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I might take you up on that offer.
I was going to say any kind of strategy like game like that on a console, I think basically has to be watered down. You can't really play it.
Civ 6 is exactly the same game.
Yeah, Civ 6 was 1-to-1.
Yeah, and I was going to say with the new mouse feature, I feel like...
Oh, well, now, yes, but like I'm saying in the past, in general, most RTS strategy style games on a console, just from a control standpoint, they've got to simplify things to a degree.
Also, Civilization has been around for so long, especially once you get to 5 or 6 in a series, it tends to not get as many newcomers come into the fray.
True.
So to make it more accessible, it tends to make sense sort of thing. So, I mean, if you want to grab the card, the cases up there, we can go through. We can go through because I spent far too much fucking money.
You spent just the right amount.
I spent far too goddamn much.
Both, and I didn't even buy any physical games.
So
I came home with many amiibo.
If I had money, I would have spent too much.
So I got Civ 7. I got Civ 7
Ooh.
because I'm a psycho. I got.
Can I ask
my first Hitman game, by the way.
What?
Yeah, the last Hitman game I played would have been Silent Assassin on like a really shitty Pentium.
Oh my god!
like long ago.
Can I ask you something before we glaze over it? I can understand to a degree buying the game keycard games. Is there a reason why you bought this like a code in a box rather than just buying it off the eShop?
Staff discount.
Very, very valid point.
Hitman 2 and 3 are fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I love those games. I haven't played the first one.
I've got to be. I'm playing this and I'm loving it heaps. And I've got to stop because I'm playing this game at the moment and I'm balls deep in this and loving this shit out
that
of it.
That is the only way to be in a Yakuza.
You know what?
Yeah.
And it is so goddamn good,
It's so good.
that I'm just like, okay,
I might borrow it off you once you're done.
We all know that like this whole code in a box thing, and don't bother screen grabbing it because I've already downloaded it. It's just literally you get a piece of paper and that's it. Now, if the whole controversy over this whole game card thing wasn't bad enough, Street Fighters both. It's got the DLC. What?
Oh, that's right. The DLC characters, they're a code.
Was a code, and it comes on a game cart where the game's not on the cart. You have to download
this
game.
is
fucking stupid.
Wait. It gives you a physical card, but it doesn't have the game. You put it in, it downloads the game.
Yes,
60
Dan.
gigabytes of game.
You are correct, and your perplexed face is also correct.
I mean, look, but so many games do that now anyway, even on the PlayStation and stuff, where it's like you get the game and it's like the game is however many gigs. The disc only has megabytes on it.
Yeah.
It's basically
that's
just
ultimately
the code.
that's ultimately what they did with these.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I'm really frustrated about with this whole game keycard thing. Like codes in a box, Nintendo are really the only ones doing that. But really,
Xbox with Alan Wake
at a retail level, yes, but let's be completely honest. There's more than half the games that are actually on PlayStation now are only available for like going. For
I don't disagree with that, but I mean in terms of the concept of a code in a box, Nintendo are really the only ones who do that. But the game key
It's a
card,
code in a box.
the game key card thing,
You put the code in the box.
as Daniel just pointed out,
cut a hole in the
so many games on PlayStation and Xbox have been doing this for years. They just don't explicitly say it.
Yeah.
And it gives agency to the people to be able to resell it once they finish the game. And I don't I understand game preservation, but Nintendo are using a new storage medium that has a really small cartridge or a really big cartridge. And the really big cartridges are very expensive to manufacture. So giving games the ability to have shelf presence, it makes sense.
How do the cartridges taste this time around?
Oh, no,
They're still shit.
has
cool.
the Ipecac wipe on it.
Yeah.
But it's not as intense.
Got it.
Which I thought was really strange that they changed the intensity.
Well, there
of
was
it.
such bad backlash. They were like, you know what? Let's pull it back a little bit.
You know what it
Stop
was?
children choking on cartridges.
But this is the thing.
The thing that made people put them in their mouths was finding out that they taste weird.
Exactly. Like Tides.
It had the opposite effect.
No.
It's that
The
Tide
thing that made
bullshit all over
adults
again.
put it in their mouth was the weird thing. It was there to stop babies putting it in their mouth and choking.
That was the whole
Yeah.
idea of it. But
Yeah.
let's be honest, there was always going to be, dumbass TikTokers.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then the other one that I bought, which is absolutely mind-blowing to say the least, because this is actually all on the cartridge.
Oh, wow.
All the Nintendo
Can I actually have a
published
look at the
games,
cartridge? I haven't seen what they look like. Whichever one you want to...
all of them.
Oh, sorry.
he's gonna-
Oh yeah,
Okay.
the thing that's worth pointing out, because I didn't realize this, is that the game key cards have a little key icon on them.
Yeah, it's
I
cute.
love that.
There's a way of telling. I like that. I think that's very, very cute.
But if you can get all of that,
64 gigabyte cartridge, apparently they've confirmed is what it is.
If you can get all of Cyberpunk on a cartridge,
I don't know if this is in frame.
why the fuck can't they get all of the other ones?
Because
they can. It's just
like the budgie.
expensive.
Yeah. Apparently these game card, the game key cards are super cheap for publishers, and the publishers have apparently been thanking Nintendo for that option.
I'm sure publishers are.
Yeah, they would be.
I'm sure they would.
Why not?
I'm thinking about the consumer.
First time ever though. Like it's like it's like a weird thing.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
I think part of it is that it's like new territory for a lot of these developers and publishers. Like we all know like the drop the price. Like I can imagine.
You say that like people are complaining unfairly.
They are.
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
But okay. So we did have an episode.
We talked about this, yeah.
And that has been released called the PS5O.
There wasn't a PS5 Doe?
Or Doe, that's it. Doe. PS5 Doe.
Yep.
And it's $1,200 price tag that no one actually complained about.
What?
No one actually complained about that.
Wait, you mean in this podcast, or do you mean in general?
There was nowhere
People
near
just
as much of an
accepted-
outcry.
People just accepted that, oh yeah, a PS5 Pro is of course going to be that much.
That's
And either I want it or either I'll get it or I won't get it.
Yeah.
It's like I get that it is more expensive. I understand that, but Nintendo are coming up to play now, and like I don't feel like it is fair to single them out and say lower the price without doing it to everyone else.
I don't understand this argument. I never said
But no,
that
but like,
Nintendo are the only ones doing it. Like,
But also-
this is a
3 years ago, Sony upped the price of the PS5 by $50.
Yeah.
And everyone went. Yeah,
So
yeah.
no, what I think Nettie's saying, and
But then
rightfully
last-
so.
I'm not-
rightfully so.
but-
He's not saying that
I'm not here being a PS5 shill.
It's unjustly expensive
Mm.
in and of itself. It's that everything is too expensive at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's gaming's across the board. I'm not like PS5 are doing better than
No, but
Nintendo.
it's-
Fuck no.
But it's just
Sony
strange.
have
Like,
their
I'm
fucking
actually
shit down
just
to
finding
full.
it strange.
I think it's just more of a general, that like in general though, it is one of those weird cases where there's been a lot more noise around Nintendo doing it, where when other
like-
companies do it, there doesn't seem to be
what,
as much noise around it. And it's
Well,
like, that is
2 months
weird.
ago? 2 months ago, Sony upped their price again. Another
For the consoles?
another $50 like across the board. This is Australia, by the way. I should have.
Of course. Yeah.
G'day, mate.
And everyone just kind
How
of
many
went,
times was it in the same year?
No.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but it's twice that the price has gone up in the same generation.
They did lower the price for a week.
I think that
Days
was,
of play.
that was,
then
that
all's-
was just a sale.
All's forgiven. Okay, that's fine. Yeah,
That was
no
a flash
wonder. All's
sale.
forgiven. Yeah, cool.
I'm
but
not.
yeah, like, but look, I genuinely find that like super weird that like everyone's fine when PlayStation does it.
I'm not everyone. I don't.
No,
I'm
but
not
I mean,
here
like-
to talk for everyone.
Yeah, no. But this
Although
thing,
I
like,
love that. I'm sure you want me to have that power, Stubby, but I'm just talking,
just
I
bully
think
you.
I
That'd be
think-
fine.
talking for me right now.
make you
no,
see logic.
I think I did the whole drop the price thing because like for whatever reason I think people just expect Nintendo to be the cheap younger brother of everything else that comes out.
I think it's a few things. I think there's some distinctions here that need to be made. The biggest one being that the PlayStation is basically a PC. It's most of the games that you can get on a PlayStation now, including PlayStation exclusives, are now on PC. And the second distinction is that apart from your Call of Duties and stuff, because that's Activision, PlayStation games do go on sale from time to time. And you can get them for relatively cheap, and their cost depreciates over time as well. Nintendo games don't have that. So, and even for like games that were on GameCube, they still want to charge you a pretty penny for, because it's a Nintendo licensed game. And
yeah.
so
Okay,
that's my issue. I think that, and I think I even said in our PS5 Doe episode that $1,200 for that fucking piece of shit. way too expensive. No disk drive? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like,
oh man.
Yeah.
as a proponent for physical media, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like I'm buying a good PC for $1,200. Fuck that. But
I think you're absolutely right because even I remember, I think it was only a year or two ago. It was like some friend's birthday. It might have been a cousin, and they had a Switch, and we were looking at trying to buy them a game, and we thought, why don't we get the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? They don't have it. It's a great game. Everyone enjoys it, and plus that's been out for ages. That was like a launch title basically for the Switch. Where everywhere we looked, it was basically
Still
full
$80,
price,
yeah.
and we were like, this game, like, it's a fantastic game, but this game is so old. How can it still be full price? Like, that doesn't make sense.
But having said that, that is a Nintendo-made game, though. If you look at any of the, across the board, same thing with Ubisoft. Ubisoft games are, full price for about 3 months. And then they're about half price.
And they're $5.
The first sale they can be on, Immortals, Phoenix Rising, right? Which is actually a good game. I want to add. I won't say it's fantastic, but it's a good game. That's now $10. It's absolutely pennies and nickels.
To your credit, so if you take, and sorry to be clear, I don't think this is necessarily good business practice, but if you take Sony versus Nintendo. Sony, the games that you're referring to, the Sony first-party ones, aren't developed by Sony. They're developed by Guerrilla Studios, Insomniac,
Santa Monica.
Santa Monica.
Are there any games developed by Sony directly?
Not
or just first-party
anymore.
studios?
They would rather buy a studio that knows how to make a game.
It's like Valve.
SCE,
Valve
I
don't-
think, was dissolved back in the PS2 days.
Even their what they are considering their flagship now, which is Astrobot, is Team Asobi.
Yeah.
But you look at Nintendo.
There's a whole show on that.
Right.
Fucking flip-flopping pieces of shit. I
have no idea what this is.
the fuck out of me.
I don't know
knew
what
that game was going to be good from the start. They fucking put all their money in Concord. Fuck you, Sony. Anyway.
But then you look at Nintendo.
Team Asobi rules. They should be bought by Nintendo. Then they can be given fucking the love they deserve. Anyway.
Okay. Stubby very clearly needed to get that out.
That was,
if you look
I just love Astrobot.
if
I
you
think
look at-
Astrobot's so good.
It's
It
so
doesn't
fun.
deserve to be on a piece of shit console like a PS5.
Nintend's first
but it was-
party.
The history of it. As if I'm going to put
you'll be able to talk.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry, go Pat. We love you. We love you, Pat.
Thanks, Beetle. We need a tingle soundbite.
I'll get
Tingle?
there.
Tingle.
I
So anyway, as I was saying. Sorry, I had to do it once.
Fucking hell, Nettie. What the shit?
Yeah. I'm just gonna say.
It never happens.
Yeah.
Dan became Nettie.
We are turning
Nintendo's
into
first
one.
party games are actually developed by Nintendo. And Nintendo, a company that doesn't make money on their consoles most of the time, or at least hadn't. No, they were selling at a loss, weren't they?
Nah, Nintendo's the only company that's actually made money off their consoles.
Yeah, I was
thought
going
they
to
were
say that
selling the
doesn't make
Switch
sense.
at a loss.
No. The Switch was always running at a profit.
Well,
They sold Wii
Okay.
U's at a loss.
That's
true. Let's be honest, they didn't sell Wii U's.
Exactly.
I was going to say, I think it was just a loss.
Yeah,
I think that was
Yeah.
just kind of it.
Regardless, it's a money stream for them, and they're not going to change that.
No, I understand that.
I get
the
that, but
same
when you
thing
have
with
a-
GW and Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan. Go.
No, you're all good. I was just going to say, but when you get to a point where a
Again-
game's been out for a decade and it's still full
I
price.
don't disagree with that,
It's
but
like,
while ever people
what?
are paying for it,
Oh, I know. And
And
Wait, do you agree with this practice? I don't
No,
understand.
no,
Are you just being a devil's advocate, or where does Pat sit?
I have
Over
an
there.
answer. I have
Right
an answer.
there.
for it.
I don't
Right there.
agree with it.
I do have an answer for it though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nintendo, as much as they do like to think that they're a forward-moving company,
They're not.
they're a very traditional company in
Yeah.
a lot of things. And the thing with Japanese, especially Japanese products, is you don't discount it unless you no longer believe in the product that you're making.
That's
Yeah,
also
totally.
true.
I think
And that's a very Japanese way of thinking. And because with video games, and especially with Nintendo video games,
Yeah.
they produce them for a lot longer than what a standard product, like even if it's like a cap or a mug or something like that, it might have a production run of maybe 12 months.
totally.
you know?
Well, but
but Nintendo makes their stuff for like years and years on end.
The other thing on that,
like I said, and don't get me wrong, I totally agree with you. Price erosion, or whatever it's supposed to be called, is a thing that should definitely exist. We shouldn't be paying like brand new price tags for something that has been out for 10 years.
Yeah.
Right? Like that is silly.
On the thing that you were saying though, the other thing is historically, Nintendo games have appreciated in value. They haven't gone down.
Yeah, exactly.
They haven't stayed the same. You look at fucking Pokemon games are worth 500% or more of what they were.
Made by Game Freak, not Nintendo.
I know, but it's a Nintendo first party.
It is a Nintendo product. That is the Sony Santa Monica studio right there, if I ever heard one.
That is the Pokemon company, which was co-founded by Hiroshi Yamauchi, that was like the head of Nintendo.
Nintendo have their grubby little fingers in that pot.
Then Game Freak wouldn't be making cool looking games for Xbox and PlayStation.
I mean, finally.
What do you mean?
Fucking been making shit Pokemon games for fucking years. Fuck me.
But the other thing is that Nintendo did something a couple of years ago that does worry me, which was Super Mario 3D All Stars.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring that up. I'm like,
which if you walk into a certain brick and mortar store that's not far away from here, is currently being sold for $250 per
because that was also a limited run.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. Like, I love Nintendo. I don't agree with their business practices, but that worries me. If that's a future where we're aiming for, where you have to act on FOMO.
But that's the thing, because I didn't agree with them doing that, but I bought the fucking game.
No,
because I was like, I want it. But at the same time, the whole time I was thinking about it and going, but this is wrong, because you could easily release these games on the virtual console, things like that, but you're releasing it as a limited package, very clearly saying you have to get this or we're never releasing it again.
I think I can give a really good example here. I love Warhammer, for like Age of Sigmar and 40K, right? You
really
obviously known. But
known.
They make a product that is, I would say, very quality in many aspects. Don't get me wrong; it's got its issues.
Aren't all hammers used in war?
But what?
Aren't all hammers used in war?
No, I built shit.
No,
Oh, okay.
sometimes there's just guns or like a laser or something. If
What
you've got
with the voice
dinosaurs,
change?
why would you use a hammer? I don't know.
This is true.
You know?
What about a
But-
dinosaur with a hammer?
But I cannot like say that I agree with GW's business practices of they do the same shit with FOMO. They do the same shit of artificially inflating the prices of things because they only send out a certain amount of numbers of stuff. Their website is way more pricey than just buying their stuff off of Amazon or from your local game store. And so even though I love the product and I love a lot of the work that's been put into it, I'm not supporting GW I'm not going to support them with my words because it's bullshit the way that they treat their consumers.
Absolutely.
I don't think Nintendo is as egregious as GW or, Wizards of the Coast with Magic, but for all of their games to be $80, $90 in Oz, sometimes 110, 120 if you're very unlucky. Yeah, right?
Now with the Switch 2.
I mean, we also pay the Australia tax. So.
Like I look at a game like Factorio. The developer of that game, the lead developer, has very publicly announced that his game is never going on sale. It's always $50 at least for Australia because he believes that that's how much his game should cost, and I'm never going to put it on sale. If you want to buy it, that's how much you buy it at. But
I can respect that.
That $50 is much cheaper than $80 for a Mario game. And Factorio, I would say, has much more replayability than like New Super Mario Brothers. And New Super Mario Brothers came out at like $80. And so I don't know. It's just like,
well, actually, it went up $10 from the Wii U version.
there you go, right? Like, and that is one of the Mario games that I would play least out of all the Mario games. So like it is one of those things where it's. It is one of those things that I think needs to be thought about in a business sense because yes, Nintendo do make these great products, and I really enjoy the new Mario Kart, and I'm sure I'll love a lot of the new Mario games and Nintendo first party games. But I don't know. I think it is something that should be said. I think loving these companies means that you'll criticize them when they do wrong. You know, like I don't think it means just buying everything that they have.
I think that so on two fronts to what you're saying. One, the idea that a game is worth more than another. I struggle with quite a bit because one of the things that came up with
this is I like where this is going.
Yeah.
One of the things that was said by a certain person who sounds like a Mario villain who runs Nintendo America.
Wario.
When questioned about the $80 price tag on Mario Kart in the US, he said that we judge games and assign prices based on the quality and the time that you get with the game and blah, 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 blah. Which means that that's Nintendo's way of saying we're judging how good your game is and putting a price tag accordingly.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that pricing should fall more in line with supporting development costs while still being able to make money on a game.
Yeah.
And like you use the instance of Factorio, that's not a game for everyone.
No, absolutely not.
There are people who would say that game is shit.
I mean, that's incorrect, but
I know. To be clear, I got the Cractorio. I agree with you.
Whether you like it or not, that game
but there will be someone who says, "Oh, that's a shit game. That's only worth $10." Like that sort of like that doesn't fly with me. It doesn't jive with my
anyone
my
who thinks there is an objectivity in games is completely ignoring the possibility of the entire facet of what it means to make a game. It's insane.
So
but I mean, like, okay, just to sort of give a little bit more weight to what you just said. Then
give me a little bit more.
You can get like Soma for like $9.
Yeah, totally.
And look at the amount of content as far as what you can read out of it and dive into.
Yeah.
There was a great podcast released recently about that.
Has that same
I was so sad I wasn't in that episode.
In a mechanical sense, yes. I would say mechanically, yes. The difference being is a few things. I mean, I know Factorio's price is also
came out obviously more expensive and it has over time gotten cheaper.
It got cheaper because it didn't do well initially. Like it did not sell well.
But I think when it initially came out, it was only like $20. It wasn't an expensive game to begin with.
It wasn't a full price,
but it deserved way more success than it got because initially, like especially with a lot of reviewers, like mainstream reviewers and YouTube.
And we hit
critics.
our Soma quota. Yay!
Fuck yes.
Doing every episode we talk about Soma somehow.
But then,
I'm so happy.
like for everyone who
sorry, they
started him. Sorry,
they haven't. It didn't do as well as it should have, even though now it's got an overwhelmingly positive review on Steam. Like people are now starting to see its worth, but it's already run its course. It's like it's a very good point, but it's
like that's that. I think that's the way that some people look at it. They're like, oh, this guy's saying that his game's always going to be $50. Why can I pick up, like even like City Life, which is like a huge SimCity kind of clone, and it's like what, $15?
Yeah, totally.
Like, that's
Stardew Valley.
Another perfect example.
The thing that I will say, or like to finish what I was saying before, there are people who are going to say that Factorio is not a great game, and those people are probably people who wouldn't normally enjoy like a
puzzle game,
or like automation style game. Conversely, you've got Shopify, who I don't know if you know this, but if you work at Shopify, you are, as an employee, allowed to expense buying a copy of Factorio.
Really?
Because the guy who runs Shopify thinks that it is a great way to generate systemic thinking.
Okay, it makes sense. Sort of the same way that Minecraft is now used in schools for like building blocks.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's actually used in a lot of schools now.
They made an education version of that game.
Yeah, my wife teaches Minecraft.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Because kids can learn how to code. Kids can learn like basic fundamental principles of systems working together.
It's kind of funky that like something like Minecraft has come that far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is very interesting.
But my point is that I think the problem around game pricing stems from two places. One, just generally, everything is fucking expensive now. So it is more expensive to live, therefore people need to make more money on things. and it is more expensive to make things. Therefore, prices go up. But the second thing is piggybacking, where X company sells their flagship game for $120. I can sell my flagship game for $120.
The first thing I actually saw when Nintendo first announced the price of the Switch and the price of Mario Kart World, the immediate reaction I heard, an immediate debate, the first thing that came up for me was, what is this going to mean for the price of GTA 6? Straight away, people started debating it for that reason, because they immediately went, well, if Nintendo's willing to up this game now and start selling,
but yeah,
what are they going to do for...
People have been talking about the GTA 6 price tag for ages, and the game isn't even close to coming out yet.
I know, but it's that debate. It's that precedence of like, well, this now Nintendo is upping the price of one of their big league games, and as we know with Nintendo, that price is probably never going to go down for years and years and years.
Yep.
If ever.
So it's already bringing that debate of, okay, well, are we reaching that point now where we're going to see those games going up even higher in price, especially the massive AAA ones like GTA 6 and those levels? Are they worth that amount? And look, based off the development time and work they've put in it, I'm expecting it to be a more expensive sell because of that.
Devil's advocate, like, we're a week into the console. For all we know, this could be I'm not saying it will, and it's highly unlikely, but this could be the console where Nintendo's like, you know what, we can depreciate it.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, it could happen. Probably won't, but it could.
Yeah.
Look,
but honestly,
the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse could also saddle up as well. So, you know.
Oh no, it's the fifth horseman. It's called the Nintendo sale.
So I just want to also put this into perspective. Okay.
Spider-Man 2.
Second party Sony game, Spider-Man 2, made by Insomniac, but completely bankrolled and
Isn't Insomniac a first party developer now? I thought Sony bought them.
No. So
They're
for a first party,
by Sony.
a first party company means that it has to be actually Sony themselves. So if they're a second party, like Santa Monica and all that kind of stuff, they're owned by Sony, but they operate on their own.
Basically,
I
everything.
thought that meant they're a first party developer.
It's now considered a first party
As far as
developer.
Okay.
So if it's part of
either way-
PlayStation Studios, it's first party.
But
Either way-
Sony do not
No, I
build
know
their own game. They don't
do
have
it,
game
but I'm
development.
saying they're
They're
in Australia,
mainly a publisher.
In Australia,
Yeah,
this game is $124.95.
Which is
That
fucking insane.
That is the normal price tag, and it has not come down since day one, and it has been out for 2-3 years now. And there was no DLC made. It's like
It's
this
still
game
that
is,
expensive.
This game is still as it is, and it's not going to drop anytime soon. And then Konami released this at $129.95, $5 more. So I've always found that Konami always seems to be the ones who always push it that little bit further.
Always.
Like when PS2 games were typically $99.95, the Pro Evos would always be $109.95. And I'd just be like, why?
Because why not?
And you know what? At the end of the day, that is probably the main answer that they would give. It's like, yeah, because people will do it. Like it's $5
I
more.
think you bring up an interesting point because you're holding up 2 AAA games.
Like 2 actually really good games, although one definitely lasts a lot longer than the other.
well, yeah.
I should point out Silent Hill 2 standard price now is down to 100, at least in Australia.
Yeah. And
Where?
On the PSN store. It's on sale at the moment, but the standard store
It's on
list is
sale.
$100.
Yeah.
Standard
On sale.
store is listed. No, not on sale.
Okay.
Like the standard price when it's not on sale, it currently has it listed as 100. So it has gone down, but like your point is what it was when it came out, which is yeah.
But if you were to hold
still
up a
insane.
AAA game against an indie game, so say Stardew Valley, it's the easy
Stardew
one
Valley's
to go
an easy
to.
one to go to.
Easy one to go to because it's clearly got a lot of love. And I would say that game deserves to be bought and played by everyone.
Oh, God,
It
yeah.
is
And
absolutely brilliant.
If that had a $50 price tag, I would have bought it at $50. And $50 is cheap for the AAA
Like
scene.
Oh yeah, hella
And-
cheap.
And you can get so many incredible, not just good, not just great, incredible fucking games that are like $15, $10.
Oh,
yeah.
And that's their full price. It like the indie sphere, and this is why I think people are getting upset. It's because the indie sphere are releasing games like Hollow Knight is another amazing example. Like you're getting these games that are coming out that are
Dude,
have
Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight. Fuck yeah.
Fucking,
Absolutely.
goddamn, you want to talk about content?
Yeah, fucking A. Like,
And a lot of these companies when they release the extra content, they don't charge for it either.
Yeah.
They just release it and go, here you go,
free.
new update.
Yep.
Yeah,
Go have
I
fun.
mean, to be fair, like fucking, they did that with God of War as well, like God of War Ragnarok
Oh yeah, like
with
some
Valhalla.
of the big, but it's much more
But
common
it's
with
not
indie
as
games
yeah,
to
absolutely.
be like, we're just
Yeah.
going to release free content for you.
A successful indie game, the money does tend to go back to the core
Actually
team
go
that
to
actually
them,
made it.
Yeah.
Whereas like a AAA game, the pie gets sliced so goddamn
Of
much,
course.
which is
Yeah.
why a lot of the developers are just on a salary. So whoever is like the main publisher or the big umbrella company that owns them, sort of thing, is typically where the money goes.
Yeah.
The other thing is with indie games, like if you take Stardew Valley, for example, Stardew Valley would recoup its costs first for development, then funnel into their next game, and then you end up where we are now with Stardew Valley, where the game itself is pretty self-sufficient.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if it's on sale or not.
Yeah.
Like the funding's already gone to the next game. People have already been paid. Doesn't need to worry. And then you get to like the AAA games. Like I'll be surprised if we see GTA 6 under $150.
Oh God. Yeah.
Right?
I'm not. I
But
would
there
not
are
be
so
surprised.
many people at those studios. There's so many fingers in the pie that they justify spending $120 or more.
I think I know how they can get around that. What they'll do
Slave
is
labor.
no, because every GTA, well, not every GTA. GTA 5 launched without GTA Online. Red Dead Redemption 2 launched without Red Dead Online.
Mm-hmm.
This one's going to launch without Red Dead Online.
Oh,
it definitely
do you
won't.
think?
That'll be a shock.
Do you think?
GTA 6 Online obviously is not going to be there on day one.
You reckon
God,
because it got them so much money in GTA
Yeah, but
5?
this is the thing, right? What they'll do is they will
wait
launch
until
it.
the boom
They will
goes.
launch it like 2 or 3 months later and say GTA 6 Online is going to cost you another $30.
Of course. Yeah, fucking hell.
But it'll be a $120 game for just GTA 6 when
Well,
it
didn't
comes
they
out.
do that with COD? Like, didn't they try doing that with COD a while ago
Yes.
where you had to pay more if you wanted the single player experience?
No, they did
And
that
if
with
you- that was
Halo. Yeah.
Halo.
Yeah.
Halo Infinite.
Halo Infinite
Really?
did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't
I thought
COD,
they
it was Halo.
I thought they did it with
They-
COD too, where
So-
like you paid more if you wanted to play single player, but if you just wanted to play multiplayer.
Halo's multiplayer was essentially free to play, but if you wanted to get into the battle passes and all the extra stuff, you had to pay into it.
No,
but-
Call of Duty. I think it was Modern Warfare 3. They just released the campaign. It was basically like an expansion.
Okay.
That's
right,
what it
yeah.
was, wasn't it? It was like the multiplayer and everything was already there, and then they were like, "Oh, here's the Modern Warfare 3 campaign," but it was effectively it wasn't its own release game. It was basically like you're paying for a download expansion that just adds on. It was like bundled with Modern Warfare 2.
Look,
it
I
was a
think.
while
To
ago.
be completely, like having said that, like Modern Warfare. No, it was Modern Warfare 2 that I played, and I went, "This is shit."
Yeah, Modern Warfare 3 didn't do much better.
Yeah, I can't imagine that it would. Like Modern Warfare 3, the second time around.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Like how many different
Modern Warfare 3, 2.
Modern Warfare 4, 3, 2.
I mean, Final Fantasy did it.
not as bad as Call of Duty.
Final
I
Fantasy
can make
10
more.
too.
I can
Like-
make more sense of Final Fantasy
Final
than I can of
Fantasy
the fucking
13,
COD games.
2, and 3.
And 3, yeah.
No,
look,
that
I
was
can
just
make-
Lightning Returns.
Especially when you think Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare.
Mm.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Call of
They're
Duty Modern
different
Warfare
games,
2. And Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
Then
Anyway.
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Remastered.
Can I just say,
Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed.
this episode's just encapsulates our group in a nutshell.
We are the derailers.
This was a Switch 2 episode. And
Wait.
we're barely there.
we were talking about the Switch too.
I think the thing is,
What's
though,
the
is
Switch?
that we're all quite happy with the Switch.
No,
2
no,
for the
yeah.
most part.
Well, yeah, there wasn't much to say, so we
think-
just kind of
Oh
went,
no,
yeah,
there's
it's great.
plenty to say.
The most difficult conversation there is to have with it is, are the games fairly priced? And I think when you put it next to the indie sphere, you like, and it just ends up becoming a conversation about AAA games in general, because Nintendo, they sneak by because they do make quality. Whereas you put out, like, you talk about COD or Ubisoft and the people who were the mainstay of like AAA games as a whole, they're not the main source of gaming anymore. Whereas Nintendo have consistently put out quality. They've had their hiccups, but they consistently put out quality, at least in terms of games. Even on shitty
stuff.
even on
their
shitty
average
consoles,
is relatively high.
Yeah, right. And so it's like, okay, I understand why they still put their games at that high price tag. I understand why they do so well because, like you said, Pat, they're the only ones who do it, and people will buy it. People are willing to pay the money, and that's a self.
I think
it's
there's an interesting correlation as well because Cyberpunk, the game is on the cart, it's 120. Mario Kart, the game is on the cart, it's 120.
Unless you got it with the console.
Unless you got it with a console, which it was $50 cheaper, which I was like, I don't know, I'm a collector.
This is another argument
I like
because
to have a physical thing. $50 cheaper, I'm not that much of a collector.
Can I say,
I'm okay.
but and I know that I'm not really supporting your livelihood in saying this, but I have long thought that digital games should have a markdown.
Dude, I sell the boo-boos. I sell the boo-boos and Pokemon cards, man. It doesn't bother me anymore.
No, but I've long thought that if you're paying for a digital version, you're not paying for the manufacturing, you're not paying for like store presence or shipping.
It should be cheaper.
Like,
absolutely.
Give me a $10, $15 discount.
Yeah.
For a digital, because
digital versions, absolutely. Especially if you're buying it from like an e-shop or the fucking
with the exception
or
of
especially if it's The Last of Us 1.
Yeah, oh, don't even get me started.
Fuck off spending $90 on The Last of Us 1 again.
You've had 2 dips of that fucking nacho cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
but now
aren't you
they're
going for a
releasing the
third?
collection with both guys. Like,
But yeah, like
so much money,
then,
right?
Civilization was 80
for a piece of paper.
for a piece of paper. Yakuza was 90.
it was printed on premium paper. Thank you very much.
Street Fighter was 70.
Oh wow!
And that's Street Fighter 6 with all the characters up to this point, like year 1 and year 2.
Which is like a full price game plus, I think the season passes were like $30 each.
Hitman was the most expensive game key card, which was 110. So it's still
that's like
cheaper.
3 games in one.
Exactly.
Do
you want to
know how
it's still cheaper?
Do you want to know how much Yakuza 0 is on Steam for just a digital version?
I'm gonna guess probably like 40.
$24.95.
$24.95. Okay, yeah.
Hang on. Yakuza 0 on PlayStation Network, $24.95.
Oh wow,
really?
Yeah,
Uniform
that's
price.
surprising. Normally PlayStation
And
Network
that's-
is more
that's-
expensive.
yeah.
That's not discounted.
No, that's
That's
what it
just
is.
full
its
price.
flat
Yeah.
price at the moment.
This
Wow.
is director's cut though, which makes me wonder what the fuck is the difference.
That's
Probably not
The
much.
director took a knife and went cut.
Actually, knowing this director, he probably would have put a bunch of extra shit.
Probably, yeah.
Dude, and he looks like he's in the Yakuza.
He
Like
does.
that.
He's
He looks
fucking-
like he's a bad dude. He's put people at the bottom of the river with fucking concrete shoes.
No, that's the Italians, mate. Like,
No.
Oh, the Yakuza did that too.
You should see what
Those,
this guy
those
looks
are the
like.
Italians, are
The
they?
Italians.
The
yeah.
Italians. Really good night
To
throws.
answer what you said before, though,
This from the Italian guy.
are the games like are the games worth it at the price point, or what was the way you phrased it? Are the games worth their value at the price point? My answer to that would be yes, with an asterisk, given the market.
Yeah.
Right? But overall, those prices should be lower. And I'm not just talking Nintendo, even though Nintendo is the outcrier, it should be across the board.
Yeah, like Mario Kart 8 should still not be $80. That's insane.
Well, yeah, US, it's 120 here.
No, Mario Kart 8.
Mario
Kart 8.
Sorry.
Mario Kart World, I would say there probably is an argument to be had that maybe it's
'Cause it
fine
is
for it to be
new.
120.
Yeah.
Like now
Maybe.
it's okay. for it to be
brand
120.
new, just come out. That I'm not really questioning that. It sucks, kind of in a way, but I'm like, I'm
Actually,
not really
that's
questioning
an
it.
interesting thing. Let's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch. I'm just gonna drop it in price charting.
While you're looking,
$79.95.
I'll give you the differences
like
of...
how it's charted.
Yeah,
in
I'm
its
just-
price.
I'm just imagining a steady line.
Yeah. It is. It's $80. Like it's one of the regular priced like Nintendo games. The only ones that go up a little bit are Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, which are $90.
So in US, which is it tends to be about half. So like for us it's 80, for them it's like 40. it has not gone below $35 in terms of brand new price.
And yet, like, not only is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe just a fucking remake of the Wii U one.
It doesn't even have all the content in it anymore.
Well, yeah, it's like, I mean, they obviously built upon it, but like, you know, they already made their money off the Wii U one. And as much as like, oh yeah, but no one bought the Wii U. But the thing is, Mario Kart 8 was the biggest selling game on the Wii U. They sold like 8 million copies of that game on that console.
I got the bundle. When I got the Wii U, it was the Mario Kart 8 bundle.
And it was like most of the reason that people even looked at the Wii U besides Smash.
Was.
Right? And then, yeah, like everyone went to Smash for Wii U because it was bloody awesome. But then as soon as they went, yeah, we're going to make one for the next console, and then Ultimate came along and blew everyone's balls out the back of their head because everybody's everybody. God, that I tell you what, that trailer still lives in my head rent free. Just like how much craze there was over that trailer.
For me, like, because I know I feed into the reaction sphere of YouTube, but
don't we all?
I like seeing people reacting to things I enjoy for the first time. And watching people's reaction to that Smash Brothers trailer when Snake appears and it just dots up on the screen, everyone is here.
Yeah.
And everyone loses their fucking mind.
Yeah. Well, the next person that you see was fucking Sonic. And everyone's like, what the fuck?
Everyone.
So good. And they meant it.
I wonder what the next Smash is gonna be like.
I think we'll be waiting a while. Although
I have my theories.
Randomly,
and I think it'd be really cool if they do it the way I think. But
randomly, like this morning, they announced a Splatoon spin-off for the Switch 2.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And just on their little fucking Nintendo app.
Yep. Yeah. Alongside the Zelda movie being delayed. We've seen nothing yet.
But they're just letting you know. They're like, listen.
Didn't know it was coming.
No, we did. We got an announcement with a shaded grey picture of the Triforce saying the live action Zelda movie is coming. And then we got another announcement with exactly the same picture saying it's been delayed.
Like, God damn it.
It's always a good sign.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, what are your predictions for Smash Bums?
So what I want them to do, right?
Exactly that. They're going to smash some bums.
So look, Smash is kind of known for being the easy to pick up and play kind of a game, right? You've got essentially 2 different attack buttons, and the variations come from whether you're moving the stick in a different direction.
Easy to learn, difficult to master.
Right. So what I reckon they should do is they should start the roster at like 12 characters, but give them almost Capcom levels of fucking detail in the fighting, so it makes each character feel more fleshed out and more you want to master them properly, right? And then don't tell anyone who's coming. Just add it in there, and then when you're battling, suddenly meow 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 meow, here comes a new challenger.
So like what they did in
like the older ones, where like we didn't know who else was there. Like, but yeah, because each character is fleshed out, you kind of have a bit more attachment to your main, rather than like, oh yeah, I can just play as any of these 376 characters that they've got on there.
Right.
But now you've got 12 characters who are really, really fleshed out and have like a lot of love put into each attack, rather than just it sort of kind of relying a little on luck, and like the amount of sparks that are on screen make it hard to follow what's going on pretty much at any given time. Yeah, like give it a little bit more of like get Arc System Works to help, right? Like, I mean, man, there's a whole episode about fucking.
That'll be the next one. That'll be the next one.
Oh my God.
We'll get there.
It's coming. I'm telling you, it's going to be great. But yeah, like get someone like that onto the project and like flesh out each character. Then you can start it at a smaller roster. And then when the next fucking iteration of like the Nintendo console comes around, we can get the ultimate version then, which will then have, 50 odd characters. Like the fucking, like that's my idea.
That would be very interesting.
And I think that's pretty much the only way they could release a new Smash without people going like, I am bitterly disappointed. Like, because Sakurai poured his fucking life into those games.
I love Sakurai. I don't give a shit.
That dude is actually goddamn amazing.
Do you think we'll see Smash Brothers before Sakurai's done with Kirby Air Riders?
before? No.
No, God, no.
No. I'm still shocked he's coming out of retirement.
No,
to do that.
that's my point. Do we think that he'll do the next Smash Brothers, or do you think they'll hand it off?
The second that they showed Air Riders was like actually being directed by Masahiro Sakurai, I'm sure he got a billion emails saying, hey, if you're coming out of retirement, are you making a new Smash Brothers? I'm willing to bet my left nut on that.
All I saw was people saying, "Oh, they released the Smash shackles and set him free."
He smashed his shackles,
and he stayed with his beloved Kirby.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, on that note, because there is an episode there.
Yes. Oh God, there is.
I think we're happy with the Switch 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so.
This Switch 2 episode that had very little Switch 2 in it.
Switch 2.
But like I said, the online for it is like, I think I'm actually happier with it than what I thought I was going to be. And my expectations were already pretty high. But I'm finding things with it that are so much better than not only what I would expect from Nintendo, but what I even expected from like at all.
Yeah.
To even think was possible. Like these older games all working, especially when they kind of figured out that the way that the system is put together, the backwards compatibility is actually emulation. It's not.
Well, it's a translation layer. So they have a middleman that's like, here is Switch 1 code. Now it is Switch 2 code.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, it's not like the Wii U, how it actually has like the Wii chipsets.
Yeah, it's not actual previous console hardware.
Exactly. It's not like built into it to like.
Yeah, it's not hardware backwards compatible.
It's literally running an emulation.
I think a lot of people, and I was talking to Nettie about this before when we were playing the Switch 2.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people got scared when that big lettery word was used.
Yeah.
Because emulation is a scary thing for people particularly who are purists at heart. But realistically, I think a better way to phrase it is translation layer. Like it is translating Switch 1 code into Switch 2 code.
Yeah.
And it has limitations. Like obviously, like it has to work within the confines of it. No. But like for games like fucking Dragon Quest Builders, right? Which has a cap of 60 frames a second, but rarely goes above 30. And when you go into the a user-generated world, sometimes you're not going above 10. Now has a pretty stable 40 to 60 frames wherever you are.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people got scared at that emulation word, and it is because every
no, I get it.
Every previous like it could be the same for like the PS5 and stuff like that, right? Like, it's not. That's just natively running the same builds. But every Nintendo console has used hardware backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Right? With the 3DS, it was using DS cartridges and just reading them as DS cartridges. The Wii U had a Wii built into it.
Yeah.
Like, the Wii had a GameCube built into it. Like, and when they took the GameCube out, you couldn't backwards compatible GameCube games anymore. This is the first time Nintendo's just put all their shit on the table and been like, no, we can't do it that way.
Yeah.
But like just the fact that the memory is faster, the CPU is faster, the GPU is faster, the limitation now is the game, not the console. And this emulation translation layer is nothing to be afraid of. It's something that we should be championing more because
it's fucking awesome.
It's taken games like Batman Arkham Knight that was unplayable.
Like, absolutely. And I am the last person to ever say anything about like frames or anything like that because I actually prefer 30 over 60. Yeah, I know I'm weird.
He doesn't like border.
I don't know what it is. I just prefer 30. I think my brain can comprehend the things like at that speed really well, but not always at 60.
Old man, Stubby.
I am an old man. The 30 frames is fantastic as far as I'm concerned. I'm learning 60 is very nice. But I've never like a game has to be unplayable for me to go, oh, the frame rate on this is garbage. Yeah. The frame rate on Arkham Knight is absolutely fucking dreadful.
Yeah. Well, like if you look at
like screenshots, sometimes it's
and it looks like just fucking melted wax as well. Like like if it was high detail, that'd be one thing, but they're low they're low every fucking thing, and it still performs like garbage.
Yeah.
Like,
Jeez.
yeah.
Well,
It's
like
just
you,
badly optimized.
if you look at anything from Digital Foundry about it, like it is sub 20 100% of the time, and most of the time it's like sub 15.
And if you're in the car, forget it. It's just fucking impossible.
And now, like playing it on the Switch 2, you're limited by the textures they had to put in it to get it to run, the animations they had to put in to get it to run, and then
it would be nice if they were to do a patch, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Who knows?
Game's way
Probably
too
not.
old. The game's way too
the
old.
game's way too old, but I never thought they'd bring it out on the Switch to begin with. So who knows?
Yeah.
Well,
That's
like
a good point.
Rocksteady aren't really Rocksteady anymore. They're like, they're not even around. They're making Suicide Squad. Kills it justice.
Isn't that gone?
I don't think they're still even doing that.
Yeah, no. So
pretty sure.
Rocksteady are definitely
Look,
not
as long I'll be happy as long as they don't come out and say we're porting Arkham Knights.
Jesus. But
I'm pretty sure that's just a dead fish they're poking on a beach at the moment.
Oh, you mean Gotham Knights?
Sorry, Gotham Knights.
I was like, oh no, I know what you meant.
we knew what you meant. But
I just didn't want to.
but as someone who loves preserving old media, just all of this being able to play the games that you had on your Switch 1, on your Switch 2, is just good. It's good business practice. It's good for the consumer. It's good for the businesses. It's awesome. It's just awesome all
The
around.
one thing, and we'll go back to the indie scene, but a couple of people that I know that work in the industry have all said, like, they're very behind the Switch 2. Like, from an indie point of view, like, Nintendo is still supporting indies the way they were on the Switch 1.
Awesome.
And it's like, up until probably about 3 years ago, up until now, they said developing for the Switch 1 for anything that's not like an 8-bit like callback or like, you know, like an old school style game. It's like developing with a hand tied behind your back. And it's like, my hand is free now.
That's awesome.
So, I'm really keen to see what comes out of the indie scene. And one of my big favorites, Toby Fox's Deltarune Day One. Like, like dropping Chapter 3 and 4 and the whole package on the Switch 2 Day 1. So proud.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But do you guys want to wrap it up there, or is there anything else we want to touch on the Switch?
I think that kind of covers everything.
We should all say one game we're looking for. Sorry, I jumped over your thingy, but we should say on the way out one game that we're either looking forward to most or that we want them to make for the Switch 2.
Why not both?
I was just going to say.
I mean, if you want. I was just,
that's
So
unfair.
the one I'm looking forward to the most is Pokemon ZA, because now I have faith that it will be a great game when it comes out.
Obviously play well.
But like, I'd be remiss if I said I wasn't waiting to see what comes out of the Zelda Sphere next.
nice.
Because I think it's going to be big, whatever it is.
See, I couldn't give a fuck about Zelda, but give me that Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong looks so good.
Oh my god, it looks so good.
I'm so excited for
I
Donkey.
want that. I want that so bad.
We're going to do some tutorial pigging.
I mean, for things that I would want, because of how well it's sold, I can't see a reason why they wouldn't do like a Game of the Year package. But I would love to see RoboCop on.
That'd be sick.
That would be cool.
On Switch 6.
Maybe with
And
unfinished
obviously do
business
it.
in there.
And like I was going to say,
Yeah.
with unfinished business in there as well, so you'd have both of it. And it could
The
be
fact
like
that
RoboCop
came out
collection.
means they are still supporting it. Like, it would be really cool to see that ported
That would
over.
be cool.
It would be
Yeah.
really awesome to see that. Other than that, the game that I still think should have been on Switch fucking 1, Mass Effect Trilogy.
Oh,
What the
God,
hell? Why was that not put on Switch 1?
Legendary Edition should run on Switch 2 without fail.
1,000%. Like,
So-
yeah,
That is weird,
No
yeah.
excuse. There's
That's
no
bizarre.
excuse. So I would like to see that. As far as like, yeah, like it's. I mean, look, in my heart of hearts, I want Darkness.
Yeah.
Just give me a remaster of the Darkness.
Darkness.
That'll never fucking happen.
On every
But,
console.
yeah, everything.
Yeah.
For the rest of time.
Agreed. Yeah.
But yes, yourself?
For me, I'm really looking forward to Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, baby.
Like, I'm fucking keen for that. And what I really want, I would really like a new Paper Mario.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
A
Yep.
new Paper Mario would be awesome. Like, one that isn't a weird sort of half Paper Mario, half...
One that doesn't have a gimmick.
Gimmick game, yeah.
Just give me like the Mario RPG style Paper
Yeah.
Mario.
Yeah.
And look, Thousand Year Door shows that there is an audience for it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How about you, Dan?
Well, in terms of what I'm looking forward to, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, 100%. I'm a massive Metroid Prime fan. I want them to, and I suppose this can tie into what I'm hoping. Give us Metroid Prime 2 and 3. You did the Metroid Prime remaster. Yep. Give us 2 and give us 3. Give us the trilogy.
That's one I haven't tried yet.
In the lead up. In the lead up to Metroid Prime 4.
Maybe we can do that after this episode.
I think so. I think that'll happen.
I desperately want to. But to give a real general answer, but it's absolutely. I just want to see what the next flagship Mario game will be. What they'll produce and come out with.
Can I tell you
after Odyssey to see what they come up with?
I threw Odyssey in the Switch too, and
it's so sharpened up.
Yeah, I bet. Like the resolution's better, but just New Donk City. New Donk City is a poster child for why, like, upgrading Switch 1 games is cool. Because stable 60 frames a second and it actually feels alive now.
Nice. And also, like, the movement of people from further away is no longer cut in half. Like, it's all actually running. It's like it's amazing. It's like, especially when it's like, you know, it's been a while since you've played it, but you still remember what it's like. And then when you first jump down onto that city and you're like, I remember being able to see the people all the way over there.
Where did you come from?
Holy shit. Like, it's so good.
Yeah,
so good.
But a flagship Mario game would be interesting, but I don't know if we'll see one for a while.
I'm not expecting us to see one for at least maybe a year or two.
Oh, look, we've got a brand new Mario Kart and Donkey Kong within a month. Like, it's probably going to be a bit.
But I would be very interested to see what they come up with for the next.
I honestly think the next one will be a new Mario Galaxy game.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Do you reckon the Galaxy? I don't think they're going to go back to the
Mario multiverse.
The Mario-verse.
Dude,
the Mario-verse.
It'll be like fucking Sonic Generations, and you've got new Super Mario with like Mario 64 running around together, or
I kind of hate how much I want that.
That's for the next
pixelated
episode.
Mario
I got to
together.
talk about.
That's so bad.
I got to talk about Sonic Crossworlds in the next one. Fuck me. Anyway,
the autism episode.
I've been Pat.
I've been Stubby.
I'm Daddy.
I've been Dan, and I'm happy to be here.
And this has been the Finally Press Record podcast.
Thanks for
Wait,
joining
it has?
us.
Shit.
So, after I licked the back of it,